here's 3 dogs that hang out together a lot. Some of them have worked together, some of them haven't. Joopy's been in the weave pole competition, I believe, with Bella. Bella's never worked with Finn, and I don't think that Bella's ever worked like this, where she sits off at a distance, you know, and has to watch the competition. So Bella does okay. She's excited, and you know, when there's excitement, it can cause problems. But you have to stay on target. You have to work the dog through it. You can't just say, well, the dog did it okay, so this really isn't a problem. So it's Bella's turn. That's why I want to show this portion of this training session, is because this is important. So Bella does sort of stumble here. She's excited. She's not going into heel. You know, it's different for her. Each time you something different. See, she's missing some gait. She's like, fuck it, I'm just going to run through here real quick. No, Bella, we'll go back to the beginning. You can do it right. This is about honoring, too. She needs to know who I'm talking to. She needs to pay attention. Like I said, sit to one of the other dogs because it looked like they were getting up, and Bella sat down. It isn't a problem. I just called her to heel. I didn't give her a correction. You know, she's confused. There's no reason to correct her. She sat. She heard sit, and she sat. So we get her through the weave poles. Not yet. Not yet. Notice I stay on it. I make sure that she hits the right gait. We get her through, and she finishes. It's a good girl, heel. You know, you can't just let the dog just do whatever. If they're confused for whatever reason, you know, excitement, work them through it, you know, and stay on it until they're being compliant. And that's what we do with Bella. Both Jupe and Finn are being compliant sitting, you know. I always want to, once a dog is compliant, I always want to run them through it again. And most of the time I look for them to be compliant 3 times in a row. So sometimes 2 times. She's being compliant here. I might run her through a third, or I might cause her another problem, but yes, I am. I'm gonna make her. I'm gonna work Finn, and now she has to follow direction and get up on the tire. So now it's Finn's turn. So it's important that Bella stays on the target too. She has compliancy issues. She's, you know, because she's excited, but it still doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't. Look at Joopy in the background being compliant. He's awesome. See? Bella's bad. So Bella moved. Bella moved. And so now I'm gonna work with Grandmaster Joopy, and he's gonna do the weave poles, and I want Bella to get up on the tire. She has to follow direction. I don't care if she's excited. She needs to be compliant. You know? If she gets off that tire, I'm going to stop everything, and she needs to go back on the tire. You know, of course, Joopy's going to be compliant here. You know, look at Joopy. Watch this. Watch what he does. When I tell him he did good, he runs around the yard like a maniac. The use of melatonin in dogs, you know, I admit it. I've done it on several occasions, and each time, I'm sort of like, I don't really know if it's doing anything. If the dog's real stressed out, like Pharaoh I used it with, he was up for so long though, it might have just been happenstance that he got in the down position for 16 minutes. Seriously. I don't know if it does anything. I think that this is something that might be sold to us by positive reinforcement trainers. Like, we can't do anything, so... And clearly I'm sucked in because, you know, you have the separation anxiety dog that's got it real bad. You'll try anything to get the dog calm, you know. But the thing that works best is telling the dog no, you know. That's what works the best. You do training with the dog and tell the dog to not let its body function that way. That's not what we want. There's a lot of muscle memory. So the dogs, you know, they do it for so long. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you sort of like use the knowledge that dog training is muscle memory to get the muscle memory gone, you know. But the using melatonin, I don't know if it does anything. With that said, I've taken it and it knocks me out. But every time I've given it to a separation anxiety dog, I'm like,
Well, maybe, you know, I don't know. I'll take anything. The dog looks better, I guess, you know. I don't know if it's fact that it does anything. It might be bullshit put out by positive reinforcement trainers. I'm not shitting you, man. They can't do anything. You know, if it's purely positive, you've just like made it so, oh, so we're not going to say anything negative to the dog, but there's obviously an issue. The dog is doing something improper, but we're going to keep it positive. Yay! Rainbows and teddy bears, you know? You know, why the dog just like is like circling and shit. You know, I really, the thing that really seems to help is telling the dog no and having like a berating tone. Even with the thunderphobic dog. I had a thunderphobic dog, Tatiana. I was working in an animal shelter years ago. And this was a dog that had gone home with people, and then it was always brought back to the kennel. And then the last time it went home with this woman, it lived in Queens, it jumped out the window and made it back to the animal shelter. So I was sad to see her go. I was like, I don't think it's gonna go well, you know? And it didn't. So at that point, I took Tatty home with me for lunch maybe 2 times, and then on the 3rd time, I didn't take her back to the kennel. And I knew that there would be issues. I knew what to expect, and she did want to go back to the kennel, but I created her, she stayed there, and she was fine. She was thunderphobic when I first got her, but I got rid of that, and I used that berating tone. Like, don't crawl underneath my chair to fucking hide, Tatty. Get over here, you know? I'd do a tie down with her, I'd use a crate with her, but you know, the last thing that you want is the dog to be like going underneath your legs or something because it's frightened. Hiding behind the couch, any of that shit, don't let that happen. And have this like berating tone, like, no, don't do that, get away from me, get over here, you know? I'm telling you, you know, so many of my clients have had this. It's, you know, that's how you get rid of it. You don't get rid of it by nurturing it. If the dog is shaking, never console the shaking dog. Ever. You're better to ignore it or tell it to knock it off, get it healed. You know, keep it working. That's how they get better. It isn't by prescribing brain drugs that are used on humans, SSRIs. It doesn't do anything. It takes a little edge off. Maybe the dog feels a little bit better. That Thunder shirt is a joke. It's a fucking joke, you know? You're not gonna find anything to substitute training. There's nothing out there. Fixing your dog, you know, oh, I'm gonna get my dog castrated, it bit somebody. Well, I'll probably bite somebody again. Or my dog fights with other dogs, so I'm gonna get it castrated. Yeah, your dog you'll get it castrated and it's still gonna fight. Okay, that's how it is. There's not one substitution for training. And to discount the negative, you know, to say, well, I'm not gonna be negative, it's absurd. It's absurd. And you have a dog that's ill. You want the dog better. You want the dog better. What's wrong with like sending it that attitude? Like, knock that off, dog. I don't like this, dog. That's what you're saying, and that's what we say during training. We like something or we don't like something. In the case of the behavioral issues, you really got to send them attitude because you need it to stop immediately. You just need it to stop. Sure, you could use common sense things, like if you have a separation anxiety dog, you would want to have an air conditioner. You would, because if they get into a state like sort of panicky and they start panting, that, you know, they're losing water, that's going to stress them out more. Do you understand what I'm saying? Also, there's a fact that if you're incarcerated, the jails, wherever you are, they keep them real cold. Less fighting because it's cold, you know? It's just a fact. So keep the dog real chill. Chill it out, you know? Keep that room as cold. I have Barrow down in the basement during the day, and then at night it becomes pleasant. But he's down in the basement. I'm also working Luna down there doing retrieves because it's cool. Actually, it's nicer now, but it's been really horrible. But your separation anxiety dog, that melatonin, would I use it again? Yeah, you're grabbing at straws to get the dog like to get better as quick as possible. I'm just not so sure it does anything. I'm just stating a fact. Like if you think that it does, okay, but I'm not. I'm just telling you about a lot of experience. I've used it before, and I'm not sure it really does anything. I just think that I just want to take some edge off some way. Just a little. I want a little bit, you know, to get the dog moving quicker. So I guess I would try it because you never know. One dog, it might really affect, you know. I just think that there's like, when there's this excitement in the mind, there's very little things that are gonna change it other than training and telling the dog to you know, shut that mind down, shut that brain down. Don't do that. That's what helps, not giving it melatonin. I'm really torn if I should just say like it's bullshit and I'm never gonna use it again. I can't say that. Am I using it with Pharaoh still? I stopped and then I'm like, I'm trying it again. It's fast acting. It's supposed to like kick in within 20 minutes. So you can kind of tell if it works or not. I'm just really not so sure that it's working or has ever worked when it's ever been used. So keep that in mind. I'm in disbelief, and I do think that there's a lot of bullshit on the internet and put out by positive reinforcement trainers. They're using something that is true, you know, that is a hormone that helps with sleep. Look, I don't think it hurts the dog. I don't think it hurts the dog. If the dog has sleep issues, yes, I'll probably still use it. But you're not going to see it. What I'm saying is this, listen up. If you have a separation anxiety dog and you think your problem is going to be solved by giving it melatonin, it's not. It'll still be there. If you have a separation anxiety dog and you think your problem is going to be solved by giving it fucking Prozac or something like that, it won't. It'll still be there. You know? That's it. Try training. Try training the dog. That's it. And use a crate, for God's sakes. It's raining. Mango's out here. Pharaoh's one of these small dogs that he doesn't mind the rain. He doesn't mind it at all. It's Tonka. Tonka's real super genius. Look at him. Tonka's very athletic and hyperactive. The baby man. Mango, of course. Caine, leave me the fuck alone. Look at Pharaoh. Pharaoh gets along with all my dogs. Pharaoh's cool. Every dog here gets along with each other. Well, there's only one that that would be Harley. Hey, wait a minute. What's the Frisbee doing on the ground? That's not good. No. Hey, Mango, come over here. Caine, would you go fuck yourself? Get the camera out of here, Caine. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm gonna bite you on the ankle, Caine. Look at Pharaoh. What a super stud. Look at him. The super stud. A little bit of a mama's boy. He is. He's a tough guy. Doesn't really like to hang out alone though. Quit. Knock it off. He'll be growling at anyone. He's a tough guy. Look at him. Pharaoh, get over here. Come here. He really likes to be told what to do, I'll tell you that. Pharaoh, sit! Don't you? He's much happier that way. He's cool around Tonka. He's cool around Ike. You know. You don't like pit bulls, though. Pharaoh, do you like pit bulls? Gotta bring the dogs out in the rain or they're freaks. I'll tell you one thing about Pharaoh is the rain does not bother him. I don't know how cool he is with thunder, but rain, it's not a problem at all. Caine, I'm staying out here, you fucking pussy. You're a fucking pussy, Caine.